Growing up, my family used EBT and food stamps, and if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have eaten. My brother and I wouldn't have eaten. Just to get a little bit deeper, sometimes I would come home from school and my mom would be locked in her room, and I would have to take her EBT card, and I was like 16 or 17, and I would have to drive to the store and buy stuff for my brother and I so that way we could eat. So if you're thinking that it's a good idea to not pay into these systems or to take that away from kids and families, get fucked.
All right, coming in hot with this one. Welcome back, guys, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lumi, and today we're going to be continuing the EBT food stamps, basically the government assistance cutbacks. So for this one, yeah, it seems like it's a little bit personal in her case. Sounds like she grew up on this stuff, and I think in her case, it like I don't know if there was like if her I don't know if she said at the beginning if like her mother was a single mom or what, but I do believe like in her case this kind of stuff shouldn't be taken away because like I said in the previous video, I mean parenting is a full-time job, and if you're barely scraping by and you have to work all day to make some kind of money, um, and there's no, and you can't afford like daycare or like there's no one else to help you, there's no support system, like that's when I think some assistance is necessary because it takes a little bit of the edge off, especially if you're like trying to raise kids all by yourself, like that's hard, and that's many years of stress and hard labor, restless nights. I think the least the government can do, for bringing more people into the country, right? Like birthing more like workers, basically. Like that should be rewarded. Like, and that's why I think like the child tax cuts are a great thing. It's a great program. I don't know too much about it, but all I know is that like if you have kids in this country, um, I think you and your spouse get some kind of like tax break, like if you're married or something. But I don't know. Seems kind of fair to me.
I just seen that Trump is making a change with food stamps. So I think it's requirements, but I think you have to work a minimum of a certain amount of hours in order to get food stamps. And I love that. I'm not gonna lie, it'd be a lot of people living off government assistance, literally never working a job, stacking all their personal bread, and literally living off the government their whole lives. I've been working since I was 16 years old. I go to work every day faithfully, no matter if I was in school, high school, college, and no matter, I always had a job. And the only time I was able to get food stamps was when I was in college. And when I didn't have a job for like 2 months, like when I first like moved back from college. That was the only time I was ever eligible for food stamps. And barely when I was in college, barely made it. So I feel like this is good. The people who are actually working, putting in the work, putting in the effort, that just need a little bit of boost, just a little bit of help with groceries. Like I feel like this is a perfect opportunity for us. I'm saying us, including me, because yes, need that. Versus people who actually can get up and go through. I'm not even talking about people's grandparents who, you know what I mean, they can't physically get up. They need it. But people who literally can go get up and go work and go make it for themselves, they just choose not to. Like, taking advantage completely. So yes, I'm excited. Hopefully I can get me some. Okay.
I think she's completely right. I mean, basically what I said before. I mean, she was kind of echoing what I was saying. We need to stop people who from abusing these systems. I mean, they're in place for people who, and they should be reserved for only people who need it, and who are trying to get out of poverty. It shouldn't be something that keeps you in poverty. Because or I guess previously, how it worked before was like, like I said before, like as long as you don't make a certain amount, you can just keep collecting indefinitely. So often you'd find people who, like she said, just lived on it for the rest of their lives. And it's like, come on, like we all have to work, the rest of us have to work. Like, why do you get a free ride? It's like, I don't know, it's not fair.
I know you guys saw what Trump said about food stamps and all the government assistance, Section 8, and it's about time. And I'm not trying to bash on anyone that is on Section 8 or food stamps, because that's you, do your thing. But so many people milk it. Like, there's so many people that could actually use the help and they can't because they work too much or whatever. They make too much. But how is that fair when you're literally just sitting home, not working, and you're getting all these benefits? Like, that's just not fair. And don't get me wrong, because I've been on food stamps before. And obviously I'm not on food stamps anymore. I was on it a couple years ago. My son's about 7, so I remember when he was born, I did qualify for WIC, food stamps and all that. But Section 8 and food stamps and all those benefits are not made to, like, for you to stay on them forever. Like, I saw a video on a woman that said she was on them since she was 19 and she's in her 30s. Like, girl, what do you mean? Like, go get a job and go provide for your 6 kids. Like, how are you going to be on food stamps and rely on the government for, like, your entire life? You know what I mean?
Over 10 years on food stamps is kind of crazy. Like, my whole understanding of this whole thing is like it's supposed to help you temporarily, you know? Like maybe until like your kids go off to school and you don't have to stay at home all day watching them, raising them, you know? So like what, 5 or 6 years maybe? Like I don't know. Like 'cause like once your kids get into school, like then what else are you doing all day, you know? Like you're at that point like the school is watching them. So you should have the free time to go work, you know, and get back on track. Get your money up, you know? But I don't know, I guess people just want a free ride and yeah, that's all changing now.
I'm seeing a lot about the freezing of Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps today, and from what I'm seeing from looking into it, it was not supposed to affect individuals. It was supposed to be an audit of our federal government because they're not spending the money correctly. Problem is, it actually did shut down the Medicare and Medicaid portals in all 50 states. So I get that he's trying to find out where the funds are going and what's actually being done with our tax dollars so that it can better assist us as American citizens and will benefit more from our tax dollars. That's the initiative, I guess. But I just checked right now, and $18 billion of our taxes went to Israel last year. And most Americans don't want that. So, I don't know, maybe start there. Because that has nothing to do with us, and it's funding something that we don't like anyway. That's $18 billion right there. I get that we're allies with them and we have to have some money over there, but it didn't need to be $18 billion. I even risk to shut down the portals of our nation's most vulnerable. Nobody can get into their portals right now. I don't know. To me, if you're friends with Elon Musk, apparently the smartest people in the planet, you could figure out a way that you could audit the federal government without making all the portals shut down.
Yeah, if only the world worked like that. Like, if the world worked like that, we would have so many less problems. But no, unfortunately, I think this is a harsh reality that we're facing now. Like, again, like I said, there's gonna be some people I think caught in the crossfire who, they might be in a precarious spot where it's like, well, you know, I am working, but I don't make enough, and like there's like some loopholes or whatever that disqualify them from these benefits that they rely on. Like I mostly feel bad for the people who really do truly need this stuff to survive, and they're getting booted out. Like I didn't know that. Like the fact that she said that what was it? All the portals were shut down. Like that's kind of crazy. Like you don't even have access to it right now at the moment. What are they doing? Like completely revamping like the whole system? Like I wonder if it's going to look completely different or like what's going on in the back end like with their servers and stuff. It might be. I mean, they might completely overhaul the system. But yeah, she makes some good points. I've thought for a while now that we've been helping out, you know, like sending too much foreign aid, like billions of dollars, and it goes to support these I guess proxy wars that we indirectly kind of participate in, right, by funding our allies. Like I get that is necessary to some extent in this day and age, because no longer can you really have conventional warfare without the threat of all-out nuclear war. That's why you always see like when the tensions between like Russia and the U.S. go up, you see all the World War III memes come out of the woodwork, because it's a very real threat, you know. Um, but yeah, no, I just think we shouldn't be supporting something that like fundamentally, uh, or like the majority of people just don't agree with. I mean, because then you end up in like with situations kind of like like the Vietnam War, for example, where it's just like something that gets. I mean, we were directly involved in that, so that might be different, but that was something that was so costly, and we were involved in that for such a long time. So many people died, and man, the public image that the government had, and like the military, oh man, they were hated. They were despised in the 60s and 70s. Um, it was really bad. It was kind of like I would compare it to like how cops are viewed now, like in America. Like that's how people viewed our military, like servicemen and women back then. Um, Whereas now it kind of like it's flipped, where people are just like, oh yeah, the military's cool, but everyone hates cops. Like, I don't know. Well, that's another thing. It's kind of funny how like you see. I thought like the right and like Republicans and stuff were all like for like back the blue and stuff, but yet when it comes to like political violence and like January 6th and stuff like that, they're like singing a different tune. They're like these cops, these are tyrannical people. They're supporting something that they're supporting the theft of our election or whatever, and it's just like I just find it funny because it's always the same. It's always kind of the same thing where it's like people will find something wrong with something until it like it until it like goes against like their own interests, like they do these mental gymnastics in their head to make it like okay, you know like you see that on both the left and the right. It's kind of funny, but I don't know. That's why I feel like nothing is inherently right or wrong. It's like just how you rationalize it at the end of the day. But anyway, guys, this one's getting a little long, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. Let me know in the comments what you think, or if there's anything you want me to cover next. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, dislike it if you dislike it, and consider subscribing if you enjoy this sort of thing. But anyway, thank you again for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.